So today we are going to try to answer the question, should you have your microphone in your shot of your YouTube videos or not? And I have 4 compelling reasons why you might want to have your mic in your shot, and also 4 other reasons why you might not. And then stick around to the end because I have a mic hack that might just give you the best of both worlds. But before we get into the video, I want to know what team you're on. Are you on team mic in shot or are you on team no mic? Let us all know down in the comments below. So the first reason why you might want to have your mic in your shot is because it's a dynamic microphone. Now, right now I'm using a large diaphragm condenser, but a lot of you out there use dynamic microphones like the SM7B. And when you're using a dynamic microphone, typically the pickup pattern is significantly smaller, so you kind of need to have that mic right up close to your sound source to be able to get a clean audio recording, because ultimately that helps with your signal to noise ratio, and if you're too far away, then you're just bringing up a whole bunch of stuff in post that you don't want to hear. So yes, dynamic mic users probably want to have that microphone somewhere in the shot. And that leads us to point 2, which is you want that broadcast sound. We all know what that is. It's the radio sound, it's the podcast sound, it is the up-close sound that you really only get when you are significantly closer to the mic than you normally would be. Sometimes in the voiceover world, it's called eating the mic or working the mic. And on a large diaphragm condenser mic like this, when you get up close, you start to engage something called the proximity effect, where you don't have to speak as loud and a lot of the bass in the microphone and your voice start to come out in your recordings. So if you want that broadcast sound, you get right up on your mic. Yeah, and that's one way to achieve that. But moreover, point number 3, why you might want to have your mic in your shot is because your audience expects that look. Think about it, right? Like, we are conditioned to ignore the microphone in a lot of different ways, whether that be TV news reporters, sportscasters, video podcasts. In all of those scenarios, we are used to someone speaking directly into a microphone and seeing that on screen. Or we'll add some validity to what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, come on, let's be real. When you speak into a microphone, it subconsciously says you have something important to say. And the 4th reason why you might want to have your mic in the shot is because you are recording in an untreated space. So typically, if you are shooting your videos in some place like your living room, your kitchen, your dining room, a bedroom, someplace that isn't acoustically treated, the louder that your voice is, the more that it bounces off every wall and hard surface and back into your recording device. So one way to mitigate all of that extra reverb is to bring down your volume. That is how loud you actually speak. And when we do that, the way that we get the best sound is to move the microphone as close to your mouth as possible in an effort for that mic to pick up your voice and only your voice. Okay, but what about the reasons why we might not want to see the microphone in our shot? Well, reason number 1 is that it provides a more natural sound. So when I make my videos, I'm always trying to make it feel like you and I are having a conversation. And when and if we were ever in person, you would be hearing my voice from a little bit away. When you're doing an audio recording, your microphone can be likened to the ear of your listener. And we typically don't whisper into everybody's ear when we have a conversation with them. So having that mic a little bit away helps with that natural sound of not being so close. Reason number 2, it is more cinematic. Yeah, I know. Cinematic is a buzzword that you hear probably in every YouTube growth video or video tips, tutorial, lighting, camera movement, all that stuff, right? Cinematic is a word that we throw around all the time. And when it comes to audio, the expectation that we have cinematic sounding audio is unrealistic because they have a whole sound team that's dedicated to recording dialogue and other sounds. They have ADR and Foley and all this other stuff that we as solo content creators just can't be expected to do for our YouTube videos. But think about it. In every single movie you've ever seen, have you ever seen the microphone that records the dialogue for the actors? I mean, in fact, if we are watching a movie and we do see a mic drop into frame, you're like running to IMDb to be the first person to put that in the goofs, right? So if you are trying to go for that cinematic feel, not seeing your microphone is one way to accomplish that. The 3rd reason why you might not want to have your mic in the frame is that it does not obstruct you. If you are the type of person who talks with their hands like I do, or if your content has you showing products or having other demonstrations and you're using your hands and you're presenting things to the camera, having something like a microphone in front of you is a physical barrier to you actually being able to do that. And that directly ties into the fourth reason, which is freedom of movement. Providing you are using something that has a cardioid pickup pattern, having your mic off frame and a little bit of distance means that you can move around and not worry about the mic picking you up or not. If you're using something like a dynamic mic where you have to be right up on it and you pull away, yeah, you're going to have a real difficult time maintaining that same kind of level in your audio in post. Because you could easily turn your head and not be talking into the mic, or look at your guest across the table on your video podcast and not talk directly into the microphone. So having your mic a little bit away gives you that freedom of movement to not be so tethered into talking to a camera like this. Okay, so what is the microphone hack? Let's bring this bad boy back into frame. So if you want to get if you want to get the best of both worlds, you can do a little trick in post, and that is to mask your mic in your video editing software. So I saw this trick a few months ago back from my favorite YouTuber and vlogger across the pond, David Harry, where he does a quick tutorial on how to mask off your mic so that it disappears from your shot. And that gives you the benefit of being able to have that close mic sound, but not to worry about seeing your microphone in your shot. Especially good if you want that natural look, but you don't have a well-treated space. And for those of you who want to know to do that, I will drop a link to that video right up here. Okay, so there you go. To have your mic in your shot or to not have your mic in your shot. Hopefully you have a better idea of what might work best for your specific use case. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk again real soon.